Hello, and welcome to the Rag Company Podcast. I'm Dane Hennen. To my right, Levi Gates.
What's up, guys?
To my left, Morgan McMurry.
Oh, hey.
And last, and possibly least, Anthony Fisher.
Hey, your other left, right? Well, to your left.
Lefter.
Yeah.
Far left. All right, so,
Good one,
well,
Anthony. Good one.
now that we got that out of the way, guys,
feels good to
welcome
laugh.
to the show. It's been a good weekend for me. How was it for you guys?
It was nice.
Yeah? Do anything over the weekend notable, or was it just kind of chill? Because I know the weather got a little funky.
Well, I detailed a car.
Okay,
Did you?
did.
Did you get
All
some
right.
detailing done?
Did
right?
some detailing.
Making some of that cold hard cash is what I
Green
like to call
cash.
it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's my favorite color cash.
No, it was a good weekend. It was a very light, easy weekend. Scheduled a detail. Now this is funny. I was originally going to do my insurance agent's car this weekend.
Oh.
She called to cancel. So I had received a text message from a lady who I apparently had detailed her car about 5 years ago.
Wow.
She said, I haven't had my car detailed since you because I traded in my car like a year ago and this one's been fine. So, she wanted to get in on the schedule.
How dirty was it?
That's what I was scared about. She wanted to get on the schedule. So I just said, hey, got a cancellation. I've got this weekend open if that works. She said, perfect. I have a Ford Expedition. I said,
Wow.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, I start out at $300 and the price goes up from there based on, what we want to do. So when you get here, I can give you a better quote once I see the vehicle. And so she dropped it off on Saturday morning. And thankfully, it was silver.
Oh.
It was a platinum
Forgiving.
with black and burgundy leather interior.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Really
Okay.
well kitted out
Wow.
Expedition. Really nice. One of the EcoBoost
Ooh,
version, twin
those are
turret. I mean, it was
Pretty fun, actually.
It was a
Plenty of power, yeah.
really nice Expedition. I really liked it, and but not bad.
Okay.
Right. The worst part was in the very, very back. She had some dog hair, and I just used the for real. Totally took care of it. But what I've noticed about the for real is I don't know if I have a problem with the rubber that they're using now in their composition, because I had the first version. This is my fifth for real. Right.
I noticed
Wow.
people do go through a few of them.
So the first one I had for months.
Okay.
And it was a 3D printed rubber version.
Yeah.
And
Like a test prototype?
yeah,
or?
it was a
Okay.
prototype, and it was good, and it worked. So proof of concept, it worked great.
Yeah.
However, the rubber that was used in the 3D print was very strange, and so that
Sure.
it would mar the carpet. It would leave
But
rubber
it was a 3D
materials.
printed one.
Yeah,
so
it would
of
leave
course you kind of
material
expect
behind,
that.
and that was the thing I didn't like about it. Then the second version was a little harder rubber, and it worked fine, and it lasted. I probably say I got 6 to 7 cars out of it.
Okay.
The last two that I've had have disintegrated within one car.
Yikes. Okay.
And I haven't
that's
done
odd.
one car I did heavy dog hair removal, a lot of dog hair. And
Yeah.
that was my brother-in-law's sister's car that I was not happy about detailing. And then this one though, I'd already used it on a car previously last week, and this was just the cargo area of an Expedition, and it completely flattened out basically my for real. So I don't know. I'll have to talk to Tom about that. I thought that was a little strange, but definitely worth the investment in buying one if you're going to do dog hair removal. I recommend you buy a few of them just to have them, because she asked me, she's like, well, what are you going to charge me extra for dog hair? I do have dog hair. And I said, I'll probably just charge you an extra $25 because it wasn't that bad. But looking at the cost of a for real.
For real.
Yeah.
You only made $10 off that dog hair removal.
Right. Yeah. So I look at that now and I go, after doing that this weekend, I'm going to increase my price to cover the cost of a for real.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because I may erase a for real by the time I'm done with it. But and then I did a couple live videos on Facebook.
Yeah,
A huge
those.
hit. Thousands of views.
Thousands
People
of
loved
views.
them.
People really loved watching me in my garage at the MOS HQ.
I want to say that I appreciate that you took the time to go through multiple camera angles, right?
Thank
You
you.
could have left it one spot, but you brought people along.
Yeah, we
and
walked around the garage.
freakishly, you were able to hear everything you were saying.
That's because I had my
AirPods, and it
Oh,
worked.
okay.
Yeah.
I thought it worked for
Augie
you.
even made a couple of cameo appearances.
Nice.
You
Yep.
did?
So
Yeah.
that was great. But no, I went live with that because I was doing, what we had spoken about in some of the videos. And in this case, In hindsight, what I should have done was I polished the whole car with Uno Protect. I should have removed it after the 30 minutes. It's a big car.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It was 5 o'clock. We were making dinner. I was done for the day. Like I was, the lady didn't drop it off till like 10. I didn't get started on it till like 1 o'clock. I got the interior all done, finished it off. Then I clayed the car and dried it off. And then I just went through and polished it. And I was like, yeah, I'll just leave it for tonight. Cause I was done for the day. I felt I was done. And, what I should have done was taken that extra 10 minutes, wiped it off, and then let it sit overnight without putting anything on it.
Okay.
Then doing the video with the bead maker. But I wanted to do a removal.
Yeah, because people want to see that.
Yeah, and I didn't want to do a let's hang out for 20 minutes. Because I looked and I was like, if I do this, it's going to be like 6:30 by the
time
people
on the live are like, what's going on? And we're just sitting and watching paint dry.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I was like, I'll just do this. I'll show application, and then I'll show tomorrow removing and taking it off. And so both did really well. And honestly, I was able to get around the vehicle in plenty of time, no problem. Utilized a Creature or a Spectrum and an Everest 550 as my secondary towel. So worked really well. One side I did the 365 and a Creature, and then the other side I did Creature and Everest, just to show people a difference in towels that they could use them. But all in all, that went really good. Customer showed up, picked up their car, loved it.
How was the wipe off?
A little stickier from letting it sit overnight.
Okay, you still use bead maker?
Yeah, I still use bead maker, but it was like when we left it out in the sun. There were some spots that were a little stickier than others, and that might have just been the concentration of Uno Protect on the surface.
It looked like you had quite a bit hazed on there.
I did have quite a bit.
I know you weren't using a lot of product, but I think the way it was laying on the car, it was definitely
it was stacking pretty hard. However, I did get to use the air conditioner on Saturday in the MOS HQ.
Excellent.
So nice, cool temperature inside the shop.
Has that taken things to the next level?
It's really great.
What kind of temperature are you able to keep it at?
I don't know yet because I don't have a thermometer in there.
But you would like to upgrade to one of those very nice
like a weather station.
Wow.
Yeah, just like our friend Sydney has an iWash Auto Detailing. Tells you the humidity, all that.
It tells you the stock
inside,
market.
Outside,
it tells you.
I
mean, it shows you everything. It shows you.
Yeah, pretty sweet setup. So, but I added another fan.
A secondary MOS HQ
Well, it's
fan.
3 now. I've got so it's
now no longer the only fan.
So I have one fan on the wall,
Dane,
the main
you have to
wall,
leave.
blowing out the door, right, and it moves a lot of air, high CFM, as they say. Then on the passenger side, I have a oscillating pedestal fan.
Okay, yeah.
That just pushes some air around and does its thing. But what I noticed was I had a dead spot of air. So I opened up my office, the storage room door, because that is also an air-conditioned room, and I put a box fan in there.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So on the driver's side, I'm blowing cold air in. On the passenger side, I've got the wall-mounted air conditioner. Whole garage is insulated. It's blowing air. Noticed when I was making that video where it was most hot, up against the garage door. Where the sun's hitting
insulation
it.
is what you need.
The insulation. Well, the door's insulated.
Is it? Okay.
But I could just feel that's where the radiating heat off of that.
Do you have windows on the garage door, or is it windowless?
It's windowless.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, I'm all about my privacy at the MOS HQ. And so I added a small fan that I got at about a 9-inch fan that I got at Home Depot for $20. Put it up on that wall to literally blow air along the back door. Just to help get it caught up in the cross breeze.
Okay.
Just so that it keeps airflow back there up against that. So it should bring that temperature down on the wall. Even on the low setting, it moves a lot of air. And so should be pretty good. But I'm thinking I might get rid of my pedestal fan, put that back in the house upstairs or something, and get another one of those small ones to mount kind of above the air conditioner to help circulate some of the cold air. But yeah, so all in all, though, it was great. Customer really liked the car. Got it done Sunday morning. Right about 1 o'clock was finished with it, pulled it out. Folks came by at 2:30 to pick it up. Dennis Davis stopped by the MOS HQ Saturday morning
Dennis.
To visit. Him and his lovely wife, Brooke, were out for a drive. They were going to drive out to Lucky Peak and back. So they stopped by and said hello.
Nice.
Had their tall sodas in their cup holders and showed Dennis the new sprayer. because I used that as well this weekend. Had a great time with it. Also, same complaints.
I saw a lot of people freaking out in the comments.
Now, Anthony and I had a good time with that one.
Yeah, we'll just leave it at that. What new sprayer? No new sprayer.
No new sprayer.
Okay.
But so he got to see that for a bit, use it, really liked it, but also the same complaints you and I had. And then my parents stopped by. Kids got to give my dad his Father's Day gift a week late. So he was excited about that to get it, and he said it was exactly what he wanted. So very excited to finally get something where he was like jacked.
What was it?
I got him a power cable.
Oh, yeah.
And my dad's a big fan of power cables.
Okay, what was unique about this power cable? Was it?
It's ours.
Okay, just having one.
It's got Levi's name on it.
No, it says powered by the Rag Company on it.
That's right. It's one of those.
MOSHQ
yeah, those are
Levi
really
games.
good ones.
I wish I had a couple of those, but yeah. So but he was stoked to see. He was like, "This is exactly what I need. This is a perfect 50-footer. This is awesome. This is a 12 gauge. This is amazing. Oh my gosh, this is." He was in.
I love getting dads like jacked up on like useful things, right?
He was so stoked.
that or like help them. That's fun.
No, he was jacked. He loved it, and then got that, and then just kind of hung out. Friday night was a pretty chill night. We just kind of, had some fun, hung out. Carly went over to her girlfriend's house, so I had the kids, took them to get some pizza twists.
Twists.
We went to Idaho Pizza Company, picked up some pizza twists.
Did you really?
I worked on painting Green Bean's rear bumper. Did that. Also used my gift card to Home Depot, pick up some tie downs, attachment points for the pockets. So the stake pockets on the top of the trailer. There's 6 of them. In 4 of them, they now have chrome rings.
No
that
way.
Out of the top that are all tightly hold up to 333 pounds.
So are you more of like a toe strap kind of guy, or do you like like
I like everything.
cords,
I like bungee
rope?
cords. I like rope. I think rope is a great feature for tie down things.
Do you know how to tie a good knot? I've
I
always
used
wanted
to.
to meet somebody
I did
that
some
could tie
Boy
a good knot.
Scouts. Did some Boy Scouts, and I do find knots fascinating.
Yeah.
I don't have the hand strength for a lot of those knots, and they're very complicated and hard for me.
Some get ridiculous, but they feel like they're mostly just decorative.
Some look decorative. Some are. There's one knot that I like using that I can't remember the name of it, but I think it's awesome because it actually adds compression to the opposite rope and pulls tight. Okay. It's kind of a neat way of doing it. But I'm a big fan of paracord and other types of rope.
Yeah.
So I get to use those. So I have a small box in the Suburban of rope, cord, and bungees, as well as toe straps.
Wow.
So, or ratchet straps.
Yeah.
Big fan of those.
So I've always wanted to maybe like take like a knot tying course, right? Mm-hmm. Basically, I don't want to know
I have a book in my
knot.
office where we could actually spend some time.
I literally
want
to know how to tie a strong knot to where it's easy, simple, and hold. Because I do the typical, what is it? Where you do that and do another one on top of it,
yeah,
right?
It's a square knot.
Okay. Those don't always hold up.
No,
right?
they don't.
And so I want a knot that's as easy to tie as that, but will be stronger.
After this podcast, we can go up to my office and we can see if there's a knot section in there, and we can learn about knotting.
Attention, folks who listen to the Rag Company podcast, who participate in the Rag Company podcast Facebook discussion group.
Yeah, let's see.
Do we have any
knots.
aficionados out there who are really interested in showing these guys some cool knots?
I would
Sailors.
I know Morgan would
right
be into these kind of knots as well when she has to tie things down.
So if somebody could just make a video of them tying a knot as an example and posting it up in the Rag Company discussion group so I could follow along. I'm a visual learner.
Yeah.
And that would help me a lot.
We should go get some rope and start practicing.
I can't wait for the post where somebody puts that, and the first comment is somebody going, "WTF does this have to do with detailing?"
Our friend
That'll
Andrew
be fun.
Strasberg.
Yeah,
everything.
He did call and apologize to me on Saturday morning about that. So
no, it's half the fun. That's why we do this.
He didn't listen to the podcast.
It's oddball.
And he was like, "What's this? I'm sorry." So, but anyway, point is, worked on the trailer, hung out, ate some pizza twists. We went and got ice cream. Funny thing, I told the kids, hey, if you guys eat all your dinner, we'll go to Dairy Queen.
No way.
Oh.
Yeah.
So what did my children do for the first time in their lives?
Ate all their dinner.
Ate all their dinner, like that. I hadn't even finished, and they were like getting their hats and coats and like, let's go. We're getting ice cream right now. I was like, I'm not done.
You
eating.
hadn't finished eating. That must be like a record-setting time.
That's
because
what
you
I'm
are
saying.
A fast eater.
So I will
Real
tell you,
fast.
Dane, I am quite possibly one of the fastest eaters on the planet, only to be possibly outpaced by an Anthony Fisher when he's hungry.
So I can eat.
Yeah.
I can. It's endurance eating, is what I call that.
I call it eat it now, taste it later.
Yeah.
Everyone else is like a Vespa, and you're like a top-fuel dragster when
so
it
you know
comes
who
to
else
eating.
is also very fast, almost as equally fast as myself? My 9-year-old daughter. She prides herself on being a fast eater and always lets me know, Dad, I'm a fast eater. And I said, you're right, Hadley, you are. So on her way to becoming an even greater champion at fast eating than myself. So
Well, you know, if
She
you're
beat
ever
me.
in a hurry, you'll be fine.
she beat me this Friday, and they were ready to go. And they're like, let's go. We're getting in the truck. I said, hold on, let me finish. So I made them basically I tricked them into waiting for like 45 minutes because I wasn't ready to fill my stomach with ice cream after
Sloppy Joe's.
After eating pizza twists.
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't eat sloppy joes, but we had pizza twists
Yeah.
at Idaho Pizza Company. So headed over there to Dairy Queen. They got their ice cream cones. Hadley got an ice cream cone. Augie got a small blizzard, a baby blizzard of the drumstick.
Yeah,
nice.
Very excited about that. We came back home. We just sat in the front yard and had our ice cream, and then put them to bed. Went to sleep. Saturday, worked on the car. Parents came over, Dennis Davis, all that stuff. And then Sunday yesterday was cold. It got cold yesterday.
It was freezing.
Yeah.
So wind, all that stuff. Carly and I introduced the children to the Sandlot.
Oh,
Had a
it's that
movie.
time.
Had a movie night.
Wow.
Next is going to be a League of Their Own.
Oh.
So we're trying to get the kids in on the baseball.
Yeah, you're trying
more.
to get
So,
the kids into
You know, my
baseball.
wife and I are big baseball fans.
Yeah.
You know, I've got a pair of Red Sox tattooed on me. And Hadley has watched a few World Series with me as well and watched some of the, but we slowed down on our baseball watching once we had children. Carly and I, prior to that, were super fans.
Yeah.
Red Sox super fans, and we would watch every game, every day, every
Wow.
night, knew every score, stat, everything prior to 2011.
Wow.
Okay.
No, that's interesting.
So thought we'd bring
my
them in.
question on the Sandlot, right?
Yeah.
Did Augie or Hadley want a pair of all black Chuck Taylors?
The PF Flyers.
The PF Flyers.
Made
yes.
with BF Goodrich rubber.
Yes. Did they want a pair after
No,
they saw that?
they didn't say that.
That's
but
literally the
I
best
know.
part of the whole movie.
I wanted a pair. I was like, dang, I need to see if I can order a pair of those.
Sounds like they should have been called BF Flyers.
Yeah. So they, but anyway, they were having a hard time because the one thing I've noticed about my children, they can't seem to discern reality
Oh.
from what a movie is.
Yeah.
So a movie
So they
just
were-
is real life happening in the screen.
Well, to them.
Okay.
So they were getting very scared when the ball would go over the fence and Hercules would make the scary things of Hercules.
It
And
was
they would-
scary as a kid.
Oh, they were freaked out. They were like, literally, like Augie was like, I can't watch this, and put his head like in a pillow and started to cry. And we were like, you need to calm down, bro.
So they're not ready for Jaws or Jurassic Park just yet.
No, Dane, they're not. They're children.
Oh my God! Show them the descent and ruin them.
No,
Ruined them.
Nope.
that ruined me.
Same. I'll never
movie
go.
ruined me.
What do you call it? Spelunking.
Spelunking.
Spelunking. Yeah, I'll never.
Yeah, but other than that, it was fun just to kind of have a day to hang out. Like, you know, we just ate some food. All four of us got on the big couch upstairs and hung out and watched the movie, and it was a good little evening
Nice.
hangout. And then Carly and I have been watching What We Do in the Shadows on FX in the evenings, as well as the new Perry Mason on
Ooh,
HBO.
I've been curious
which
about
is-
watching that.
Dane, you need to
Good?
get on it. Yeah,
Good.
2
Okay.
episodes out right now. It's really good.
I'll check it out.
Very impressed because some of the other HBO stuff that's been coming out is,
Mixed bag.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is good. You need
Okay.
to watch it. So,
Noted.
but that was my weekend. What about you guys? Sorry to take so long.
Let's kick it over to this side
Morgan,
of the table. What's going
what'd
on?
you knock out
Oh,
this
you want
weekend?
me to go next?
Sure.
Yes.
What you got?
Yeah, I did nothing.
Oh.
Come on, Morgan. You did a little something.
Nope, never do.
What?
Okay.
That's
What?
not true.
Oh.
Morgan, what'd you do? Hung out at the house? Spent some time with the parents?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's about it.
But you did clean up your dad's car?
I did wipe down the steering wheel a little bit.
And what else?
Come on,
There's some
dude.
detailing talk hidden.
Come on, I know you did some
No,
stuff. What products did you use? What did you clean?
Just use not solution finish, color lock, and the color lock
oh.
brush.
Nice.
So how are
Okay.
you liking the color lock system so far?
Why are you asking me that?
Because-
you know I like it.
Okay.
I know. Well, I know that you love it. And I want people to know how much you love it because.
I do.
Do you like the leather cleaning stuff the most? Do you like just the all interior cleaning stuff?
I like the leather cleaner the most.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that the leather cleaner feels. Honestly, I think it leaves the leather feeling probably as better than the Wowo's leather cleaner. That I really like the finish of that.
Yeah.
I think that the color lock stuff is just like the king, though.
Yeah.
And I love how easy it is to use. I love the foaming thing. I'm a sucker for that foaming freaking thing, dude. Like every time I lay down the foam on that, I'm like, this seat's about to get real clean right now. You know?
No, I did that on that expedition. The burgundy
Yeah.
leather was gray. There was so
I
much
bet that turned
skin
out. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
oil and stuff in it that like I would do a couple passes and I would wipe and then you could see like patches.
Yeah.
Literally like what feel like makeup patches
A Houlihan,
Yeah.
yeah.
on the sit on the side of the seats or on the face of the seats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was what was nice about I used the strong leather cleaner
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
get through all that stuff. But really
Yeah.
made the leather feel really good.
I'm super excited for us to bring on the rest of the
Can't
color
wait.
lock line,
Gonna be
man.
probably
I'm like-
mid-July.
We do have a couple videos we've already done before with the color lock system where Morgan's in it working on the E36 BMW with Ram and Lars, just kind of getting different parts of it and stuff. So if you want to check it out, that's a great way to take a peek at the system. There's a lot more to it, but those are just a couple of examples.
Yeah.
But what about you, Anthony? What was going on over there?
Underwear.
Ah.
So my weekend.
You worked on getting the Civic all de-stickerfied.
Yeah. So I mean, I did that kind of like during the week. I was kind of doing that because I had to get all the stickers off. It was super easy for everything to come off.
With the exception of...
The exception of the tire stickers. So that was pretty much a nightmare. Oh, my hair is out of place. Hold on, I'm gonna go fix that right now. Sorry, there's like a loose hair there. So
A loose hair.
But so the tire stickers, nightmare. Basically, they bake themselves on, like fuse themselves to the tire. They're normally like just a peel and stick, right? And you just peel them off, heat them up a little bit, and they come right off. Well, my problem is that I put a dressing over the top of them.
I was going to say, they seemed fine before the dressing was applied
The dressing
over.
ruins
The dressing
them.
seemed to
I should not have done that. And
colorize them.
Oh yeah, it darkened. It made them look like they were
Weird
burned.
that it did that.
Yeah, super weird. It's just straight up ruined them. So I basically had to sit there, start picking at them. They weren't coming off. So then I'm sitting there like, okay, well maybe I'll just add some heat. Started adding heat, didn't do anything. So then I just started rolling it, like, you know, with your side of your thumb, like rolling
Makes
it.
my hands hurt thinking about
And these
that.
are incredibly thin. They're like a super fine
Well,
And then
basically it would
there's
booger up.
vinyl
Yep,
used.
yep.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened. They'd booger up, and I would just basically just trail that for forever. My thumbs are still sore, and they're still raw because I had to do that on 4 tires, and there's two giant stickers on each tire with letters. Right? There's I don't know how many letters.
And your pressure washer solution package didn't work.
Didn't
with
work.
That.
No, I tried. That was right when you told me, like, okay, I'll do that when I get home. No, it didn't do crap.
Yeah.
So, anyway, they're off. So I got that done. I did get the Civic cleaned up, and
You also watched the Evo, I saw.
yep, washed the Evo, got it all. Did no an R wash on that.
Got it ready to move.
Yeah, ready to move. So I guess I'll talk about that.
What you got
So
there?
this weekend, I started packing up some stuff, right? I
Yeah.
haven't explained this on a podcast up to this point, but because here's the deal. I don't like getting my hopes up. I might be moving.
Okay.
So
Appreciate that. Thank you.
I'll just basically say
I
that
know a lot of our listeners were worried because the last time they were like, what happened? Because it just fell
Well,
off the
I
cliff.
know, and I felt like I'm like, dude, I was more mad than
brought
they
it up.
were.
Yeah,
He was
you were
afraid of
excited. You
jinxing
brought it
it.
up. So
So you
this
didn't want to
time,
bring it
I
up.
didn't want to jinx it, and so, but I am moving, not away. I'm just moving just up the street down here, so it's actually gonna be a lot closer to work. I don't know if it's a for real thing yet,
yeah.
but I'm supposed to go in on Thursday and close on it.
Okay.
So everything has been
But
done up to
before,
this point.
you guys didn't get to the closing, correct?
No, we didn't
on
get
the last
to the
one.
No, we didn't get to closing. We got to the offer step.
Yeah.
Where
Now, for those of you that are wondering, like, so Katie works for a company that builds homes and does homes. She does lending, all that stuff. she's a realtor there. So the last house, they had it was an inventory that they needed to get rid of, and the price on it was much lower than
Correct.
anything currently on the market. So you guys jumped on it.
Yes.
Submitted everything, got all the stuff.
Yes.
And then the company said, "Oh, we're not selling it for that price. We're going to sell it for full retail."
Yes.
And they kind of took it and said, "Sorry, no, we're not." And that
Here's
that
the rug.
was where
Yank it out from
yeah,
under
that's
you.
and that's kind of where it went in a sense.
Yeah, the problem was that they said we can sell you this house for this price because it was marked like
Right.
that. But as an employee, we don't think that you should do this. Meaning
Right.
that is it worth your job to get this deal on this house? And Katie's like, well, what's the point? So that's why
Right.
we had to.
So
back
that's
out
why
of
that first one disappeared, and it wasn't on any fault on your guys'. It was an error in the company books, and they saw it and they wanted to remedy it and fix it, and that's fine.
Yeah.
This though was an actual planned.
Yeah.
ability
This is all legit. It's 100%
Where
legit.
this one, the
Yeah.
house is up for sale. They're having a sale, so to speak. It'd just be like if we were buying products at the rag company here, getting a discount.
Yeah, because
on,
they're
you
like
know.
running a special, right? Where if you get the house, you get a certain allocation for upgrades. Isn't that it?
Yes. So you do that, but then Katie also, because she's
an employee.
she's a realtor though, so she gets her commission back,
okay.
in that form as well. And so it kind of it makes sense in that way. But this, I mean, because again, I don't want to overhype it
Right.
and not have it to happen.
Well, yeah, no,
but,
I understand.
It is a 3-car garage,
Nice.
right, which is really nice. I'm happy about that. It's 2,100 square feet.
100
so
square
it's-
feet more than the MOS HQ.
So yeah, it's big. So it's bigger than what we're currently in right
Yeah.
now, which is nice. But so it's bigger. I got a big yard, a nice big yard for the dogs, which I'm super happy about. And perfect location. I really like the neighborhood, and I mean that's pretty much it. And then we're not going to be selling our old house. We're going to be renting our house.
So now you're a landlord.
Now I'm a landlord.
Anthony.
Katie's
with
already a
that.
landlord. She
Yeah.
manages her dad's rental properties, and so she's going to wrap this up into that, and I think it'll be fine. But she's a very business savvy person.
Yeah.
I am not that. I am like,
You're more
hey,
of a house
man,
husband.
I'm like, here's the deal. I'm like,
She's
I'm
like
not,
the
I'm not a
breadwinner.
risk. I'm not a risk taker. I don't really
I will
like risks.
spend that money.
I don't like taking risks. I like nice things, but I like smaller nice things that I don't overcommit on.
You like having equity in things. You like things that maintain their value.
Yeah.
Small things, and
Like
and,
civics.
and Katie's like, oh no, she's
Groms.
like, you need big things. I'm like, oh god. So anyway, that's all working out, and we'll see what happens. So Thursday morning, I'm gonna go and we're gonna try to close
Nice.
on it, and then get the keys Thursday night, and then Friday we're gonna start getting started on stuff because unfortunately, right off the bat, there are some things that were changing like immediately, and so like we're getting like the interior windows like wrapped in some type the trim. They do trim around the interior windows in the house, and then they still have to do the blinds. We're gonna repaint the ceilings because I don't know who the hell painted those, but it's not good. And we're gonna
Is
fix-
it the quality is better? Or is
no,
it the color?
it's the color. It's
What's the color?
Well, a lot of these new
They-
houses, they'll paint the ceiling the same color as the wall.
They did.
Which doesn't
They-
make sense.
They did,
Oh.
but they did it in a different sheen.
Yeah, you
so
want a contrast.
It would be different if they didn't. So they painted the ceiling gray, right? And it's not like a good gray.
Right.
It's like a shiny gray, and then the walls are a flatter gray. And you're sitting here like, that's not right. Like, that should have been flipped, if anything. So now
Right.
we're just going to go
Okay.
back through and we're going to paint
Okay.
the ceilings just white. So, but her grandpa's a painter, and that's what he does. He does house painting. So, so we're going to get things started, and then we're going to slowly but surely move over the next 3 weeks. So I got a lot to pack. So that's what I did also this weekend is I packed some stuff, started getting things cleaned up. It's kind of hard because I think packing's just difficult because I've never moved a whole house before, right? But in my head, right, and this is not correct, but in my head I'm like, I'm so much faster if I leave things out individually, separately,
No, you're not.
right? And I can do this and pack these things full of things, right? It's super inefficient, right? Boxes make sense,
So,
right?
as the most efficient packer, I feel here.
You are a very efficient packer.
So, because when my parents got divorced when I was a teenager, my mom would literally move every 6 months. from
Really?
rental to rental to rental.
Wow.
And for about 2 years we did that. And then I said, I'm just going to move back in with Dad. Like, I don't want to do this because I hated moving my bedroom.
Yeah.
So I started, and my mom was one of those ladies, like, she'd go, we're moving this weekend. Like, I'd literally get done with school and, like, come home, and she's like,
I love your mom so
start
much.
packing.
She's an
I got us
amazing
a new
person.
place. We got to be out by Sunday night. And I'd go, what? And it would be me and my sisters.
Mom, this has changed really fast.
By
It's
the
okay.
third
It
or
was a
fourth
lot.
time you
Yeah.
figured
No,
out.
it was a lot, and it's one of my biggest frustrating things. Like, when I bought this house that I live in
Yeah.
now, like, I'm dying in this house. That's my game plan.
I'm
like,
not
I'm
going
not moving
anywhere.
Holy
again.
crap,
That's
yeah.
that's where I'm at. Like, unless
Yeah.
I'm moving to another country or something. Like,
Yeah.
that's the only thing that'll get me to move from this house.
Oh
Good.
my
So-
God.
Good.
So
Committed.
it felt really good to be like, I'm done moving. So because of that, I got really good at moving because I had to pack.
Yeah.
I became at 14, 15, 16, I became the one
Resident
in charge
packer.
of that.
Yeah, the
Because I
resident
had to
packer.
pack my mom, my grandmother, and my 2 sisters and move that and basically plan the move. My mom
Yeah.
would like get a U-Haul truck and pull up
Yeah.
in like on a Saturday morning, and I'd try and have everything packed Friday night. So I started to design a lot of things to pack into themselves,
Okay.
and like even your trinkets and things like that, so that way they could just go. Like I'd tape all my sister's dressers shut,
Yeah.
and then I'd just move the dresser.
Yeah.
And my mom would hate that,
Yeah.
but I was like, it's so much faster because when we get to the new place, we literally just take the tape off everything and it's
But you
done.
empty the dresser real
No.
close.
No, that's the
No.
whole idea.
How
is
is
that
that
it's
literally
full.
How the heck do you pick that up?
It's
So it's
heavy.
organized.
It's heavy,
It's heavy,
but
yeah.
it was like it was faster. The carrying capacity. Usually, I'd have 2 other cousins that would come over or an uncle, and they
Come here, Seth.
I would literally have them move that dresser for me, and I'd find the heavy stuff and I'd mark it. The whole thing on it, I'd say heavy, heavy, heavy. Like these are the heavy things. I'd also pack every room individually.
Wow.
So you go into one of the living room, everything that was in the living room, pictures, trinkets, whatever, all goes into these boxes, and the boxes stay in there with the furniture.
Right.
So everything's set up, and then I could write living room. I could go through and write everything. And so when we moved our houses, I literally would bring in boxes. When Carly and I moved this last time, I'd go into one of the kids' bedrooms. I'd bring in 3 boxes. Everything would go into those
You're reducing
boxes.
the likelihood that something gets lost.
Right. And so I'd literally go room to room to room and pack every single thing in that room into these 3 or 4 boxes.
Yeah.
And then I would, when people would come over to help, my goal was if somebody came to help, they weren't coming to help pack. They were coming literally just to move boxes. Mm-hmm. Part of my, I don't know.
System.
Well, because like my sister was notorious for not doing anything until like the truck's there and we're like, and then she's like, I gotta pack all this stuff.
Yeah.
And so I would literally come into her room and like just throw stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I hated having people walk in. We'd have the whole house cleared and her room would look like nothing got changed. Like she hadn't done any, like literally hadn't done anything.
Yeah.
Like, and my mom was always yelling at her and she's like, and she'd be sitting on the floor reading a magazine. Like, it was just, that's how my sister, her brain didn't function that way.
Yeah.
So for me, it was, let's pack every room. I'll do that. And I taught Carly how to do that. So it was like, you don't have to do anything but get everything in this room into these boxes. That's it. And for her, my wife has ADD, and that helped her because she could just, okay, this is the only room I have to focus on. Tomorrow, I'll do one of the kids' rooms. The next day, I'll do this one. And then everything got packed, and then I roll up in a U-Haul.
UPS truck. Wow.
In a U-Haul. And this year it was great because right before we sold our house, 2 ravens came and sat in front of our house when we were putting it up for sale. And I was very happy to see them. And then when we got to the new house, those same 2 ravens were hanging out in the tree. And I was like, oh, very nice, guys. Then when I went to go pick up the U-Haul truck, you know how they've got the different states?
Yes. Has a raven
the
on
bird
it.
one.
No, it was the Viking one from Minnesota with a giant Viking ship and Vikings and Ravens. And I literally sent a picture and I said, Odin smiles upon us finding our new lands.
Oh, man.
Oh my god.
Wow.
And Carly started laughing because that was the truck they just gave me randomly.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, snap. The old gods are watching out. This is crazy. This is crazy. So
Viking heritage, yeah.
gets it just right there, you know? So
Anyway,
anyway,
I'll
Anthony,
have to figure out what my
pack
packing.
rooms.
Yeah.
That's all
I
I'm
know.
gonna, I'm just going
I
to tell you
know.
that. Also, Green Bean is at your disposal.
I
Do you
will-
have a
Rocky bed.
a
Trailer.
lighting outlet on the Forerunner?
I do,
Good.
I think.
Okay.
So
I've got a
some-
7-pin to 4-pin adapter for
Okay.
you.
But yeah, so excited. We'll just, like I said, I gotta start moving stuff and start getting stuff done. I will finally have my 3-car garage though.
Oh,
And I
it's
am
going to
like,
be nice.
I'm pretty freaking jazzed on that. I'm already thinking. So for the garage people out there, I'm painting the garage, right? I'm gonna go with white again, but I'm gonna go with a brighter white than I went on my current garage. That one with the fluorescent lighting looks a little bit too yellow, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yep.
I don't know what color these walls are, but I like the white we have inside here, so I might just use that. But I gotta paint the garage, and then for flooring, talk to a bunch of people about epoxy. I'm not gonna do epoxy.
Yeah.
I don't want to worry about it because I think that I'm jacking cars up. I'm working on cars in there, like dropping tools and things like that. I don't want the epoxy to start chipping because my friend Jason says he's already had his epoxy, which was
My
professionally
garage
done.
is doing that from
he's like
epoxy,
it
too.
starts to look like
Yeah.
crap.
Yeah.
And he's like, but the cost of epoxy is the same cost as going with garage flooring,
Yeah.
right? To a certain degree. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna eventually get some type of race deck or garage track,
Are
whatever
you
the
going
heck
to do
it's
like
called.
a concrete stain?
No. I'm going to get the flooring. I'm going to get
Okay.
the flooring, but I'm only going to be doing it on the portions where I am parking. So I'm not going to do. So I'm not going to do Katie's side of the garage. I'm only going to do my side.
Nice. That's nice of you to do that.
Are you going to
And-
go all the way to the wall, though, I assume? Because you have to stop it from shifting.
Yeah. So I'm going to go all the way
Yeah,
to
'cause
the
that's not gonna
wall,
be fun.
and then I'm going to do just like a transition piece.
Just know from experience, your smaller cars aren't going to be a problem. It's good that you're skipping where the Forerunner's going to go, because every time she's going to come in and out, that piece would shift if you were separating them.
Correct.
You
Yeah.
know,
So she's basically where
slide.
she'll pull in. It'll be nothing but concrete when she pulls in.
Yeah.
Right. It's not like she's driving up
Yeah,
on the
that's smart.
flooring. It's
Because
gonna
otherwise
be
you have to do
straight.
the whole thing.
Yeah, it's gonna be concrete going into concrete, and then the transitions pieces will be around there.
Yeah.
But I need to start saving up my pennies for that flooring because
Yeah.
I started adding it to my cart, and I'm sitting here like, oh my god, this is.
It adds up.
Yeah.
Like when people are like, when I look at this price per square feet, and I'm like, okay, so how much do I measure this by this? I'm like, so a 10 by 6, right? So that's 60 square feet for this times, oh my god, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No,
The
it's
math hits.
And then I'm like, yep, that's a lot.
Yeah.
So
They make mats where it's kind of like a holding retaining wall kind of tray, kind of like what we have with the wash bay, but it's for like
a
an
giant
SUV
rubber
or
mat,
something to
yeah.
pull onto. I had one of those in my garage. It was good. Like if you had like a lot
You
of
get 'em at
storms where you
Costco
are and
every once
stuff,
in a
you can
while.
get them from Costco. They run a special. It's good for a while, but once they start to break, it's a pain. It's just that's a way to protect your concrete if you're worried about that.
So you
and
know,
wanna
like
have
our
something
Not
to
worried.
go under
so
the
our new
truck.
travel booth setup with the flooring, the foam flooring. I had that in my old garage.
That's not bad.
It's great until it gets wet underneath.
Oh.
So
Pretty
winter,
nasty.
the snow dripping off your car, all that stuff, it gets under those foam
In
tiles,
between the cracks, it's just
and underneath this concrete and those turn into skis. I would slip and fall when I walk into my garage because you'd step on one of those and the whole thing would shift and slide out from under you.
Yeah.
Oof.
That was nightmare. So
But anyways, that's my weekend.
Nice.
Nothing too exciting. I was doing like a video project for a little bit.
Yeah.
Just,
okay.
just for fun.
Just
Yeah.
for fun. Like it's a school project is what it is. So I edit videos. Or like this school. Like, just not real school.
You ever thought of
It's
editing
like
videos
it's like
here,
continued
maybe?
adult education.
I did, Dane. I did edit videos here.
You did?
I edited videos here for
I
close to
remember,
a year
weren't
and a half.
You were Dane's
Yeah.
assistant?
I was a part-time editor here.
for about 5 minutes, and then we
Yeah.
turned it full
Yeah.
time because we're like, oh, we need the help.
Yeah, and then they were like, "Oh, this guy's really good at running a social media and managing all the
Look at that.
marketing
We should
and
just
all
do
of
that.
that."
Oh,
And I'm
we should
like,
just-
"Well, sounds like we're gonna need some more editors."
Yeah.
And we did. So that
Yep.
was great.
Yep.
But yeah. that was my weekend, and I'm going to pass over to Dane because I think Dane had a
Dane probably
I
had
actually did something this
romantic
weekend.
but awesome family-oriented
Really
getaway.
family-oriented getaway.
Dane, let's hear it. How do
Yeah.
we do it?
So, my folks, they have a condo up in McCall, Idaho. McCall, Idaho is kind of like a resort town,
it's a
but
resort town.
it's less pretentious than some other resort towns.
It's starting to get pretty pretentious. Maybe 20 years ago it wasn't.
It's
so
pretty
pretentious.
chill. By
It's not Sun
comparison.
Valley.
It's not Sun
That's
Valley.
kind of what I'm getting at.
Okay.
It's nothing like
It's not
Sun Valley.
yeah.
You can go there and feel like, oh, I can just walk around in jeans and a t-shirt. And not feel
It's
like
an everyman kind of place.
Yeah,
Because
it's
my social media was blowing up with people at McCall this weekend. It was like the whole of Boise City was up in McCall. Very strange.
There were a lot of people up there, but it didn't feel like uncomfortable crowded. Like, of course, right now everybody's worried about being in a crowd. Right?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
what I did was my dad said, he goes, "You're gonna drive the Jag up, right?" 'Cause he wanted me to do that, and he's like, "Just enjoy the road and stuff." Because
Yeah.
I hadn't driven up that
Yeah,
way.
it hasn't done a road trip.
Hasn't
since
done a road
it came
trip
back from
since I
Texas.
bought it in Texas and drove it all the way up. here.
And Liz hadn't been.
And Liz hadn't been
hasn't
for an
experienced
extended drive.
the
in it.
Grand Touring.
Well, I'll say right now, she loved it, actually. It
loved
was great. She said it was way more comfortable than the Volvo, but then again, everything is. So Dylan will attest to that. Anybody will attest to that. But it was really nice. It was a fun drive. Got stuck behind some cars along the way, but there was a stretch where it's like straight shot, and I'm like, okay, she could feel what it's like to go
Let her
actual.
eat, Dane. Let her eat.
Yeah. Pedal did touch.
Dane's Jag's name is Poodle.
Yeah, so Poodle did
Okay.
pretty good.
That's
So,
what he calls it
G.
now.
Davis is literally writing this down right now.
He's on it right now.
Poodle is
So
the name of
yeah,
Jag.
the pedal did indeed hit the floor for a minute there. May have dipped into some extra speeds.
Was there
Just,
an extra digit added onto the two digits?
There might have been 3 digits.
Oh.
So yeah, just going by some very slow trailers, but apparently they were like slow fast, where they're 5 miles an hour below the limit, and you're like, okay, because they're trailers, and there was nobody coming. You're like, fine, but there was a row of like 5 of them, and I'm like, okay, I better do this fast if I'm going to do it. So I did, and then Liz was just like, oh wait, what? Here we go.
This is
And,
this is
that
me and
was-
Dane's life on every road trip
That was a lot of
possible.
fun.
Like I'm like, Dane, you're gonna have to pass this car. Okay, well we'll see. Dane, you're gonna have to pedal to the metal. To
And see,
pass
that's
this
what I
car.
do is I'm extremely cautious, and then when I know I've got a brake, I literally just
out
run
the window.
absolute
Literally.
balls off that thing. So yeah, that was fun. Got up there, beautiful, like really just
lovely.
beautiful
Really?
on Friday. And of course, the storm and stuff came in more like late Saturday, Sunday. But for the time I was up there Friday and Saturday, excellent, just loved it. So
So you guys went up Friday night after work because your parents left
Yeah.
about 4. They were supposed to leave at noon. It's about
Yeah.
a 2.5 hour drive.
yeah,
And
And
I know
there's
we were
gonna
trying
be-
to get them out of there by noon so they could head up.
yeah.
And they didn't leave till 4. So
And there's going to be traffic because, of course, it's a Friday afternoon.
Everybody's trying to get up
Everybody's
there.
wanting to
Yeah.
go away to someplace. Oh, vacation-y, right? So, yeah, that's what this town is. And, yes, I said condo because that's what my parents ended up figuring out was the perfect solution for, like, someplace to
wanted
stay. They could just drop in
And your dad
and
said,
actually do their
and I
thing.
think all of us have that where we go, man, we have some land. We build a cabin every weekend.
Well, and we did
We
own
get to
land
work
up there
on all
for a
this,
while
get to
and
do
plan
this
to.
stuff, go up to the cabin. But when you have
using ancestral tools.
but then when you have a cabin,
Oh.
there's a lot of stuff that
There's
you
a lot
have
of
to
a lot
do.
of maintenance,
Yeah.
and unlike some other things like a rental house or something, it's not constantly occupied the way
Yeah.
most rental properties would be. When you're talking about a cabin or something, they tend to be very seasonal.
Yeah.
Or you get a lot of folks who are only going to be there for like a weekend.
When
and
you
then
think
they're
about
gone.
the
So
amount
it's a
of
lot more
work
work
and
to rent
time.
out a place
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. So your
So-
parents did the next best thing, which was basically got a condominium.
They got a condominium
Overlooking the lake.
in an extremely like nice
Brand new building.
It overlooks the lake, except they chose to have the not lake facing side because if you face the lake on that building, you get the parking lot below you.
Yeah.
So you just get all the stuff going around. So instead, they have a nice courtyard view inward to other buildings that are around. There's like a ton of swallows and stuff lying around. It was cool. They got a fountain.
Yeah,
there
it's a
and stuff.
nice place.
It's pretty and it's just so relaxing. And that was a big thing because I'm
They
notorious.
wanted a place to go. Just
right.
they bring some food, they go
Just-
up, they hang out, and they leave.
Because when you're
Simple.
running the business here and stuff, there's a lot to do. You wear a lot of hats. It's stressful.
Yeah.
No matter what you're doing, it can be stressful. And you just want a place to go to relax.
Mm-hmm.
So in this case, okay, fine. This is the getaway. Chill out. And it was very, very nice. But one thing I was going to point out was come Saturday, we went out on a boat because part of the deal with the condo situation is everybody, it's not like an HOA in that sense, but it's like everybody pulled together and basically bought like a big pontoon boat for the building rent out and use.
For the tenants of the building.
Right, yeah.
They can make a note saying, hey, we want to borrow the pontoon this weekend.
I don't know, there's something like
it's kind of a party boat, a pleasure craft.
There's like 100 units there, so when everybody pulls together, it's not bad.
Part of it, yeah.
But yeah, so they basically have like a party barge type pontoon boat, but you can rent it out, and I don't think it really costs much of anything to go do it at all. But basically, we just allotted some time on Saturday to go out, and my dad was initially worried because he heard there was a storm front coming in, so he's like, oh, it's going to be choppy on the lake, but it's always windy up there. It's always breezy on the water. So he'd never driven a pontoon boat before either.
Yeah, but your dad had a ski boat.
Hulls. Yeah, we had ski boats and stuff like that, did that. Totally knew how to drive those, but pontoon was kind of different. If anything, it was better because it was so stable. You didn't worry about rocking or anything like that, but it was just so nice to sit out on the water, have the breeze, and just, chill out. And just do a loop around the lake. And, of course,
it's cool. That's
we're
really
kind
cool
of,
lake.
Liz and I are architecture nerds, and my dad was into it too. And my mom just loves being out on the water and stuff. So we all enjoyed it. We drove around the lake looking at all the different cabins and talking about the different architecture.
So one thing that was pretty cool is I had a friend who, in high school, her parents owned a cabin up there that was her grandpa's.
Yeah.
Her grandpa built a cabin up there in the 30s.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
And they had it. They were on half an acre.
Yeah.
On the lake, built this cabin from the 30s with a couple bunkhouses.
Was it one of the ones on the government leased land, or was it?
I don't remember how it was. It was private, but because next to them on either side were these like 5,000 square foot mansions on either.
Estates,
they were insane. Like the people have a private jet that they fly in on, and then
that's what I love about the mix up there.
Couple
though, is
Lamborghinis and Ferraris that they drive in on.
You've got these places where you look and you're like, oh, clearly this is somebody's McMansion they decided to just build on the side of the lake. Whereas others, you feel like, oh, these people went here for the experience. They had this beautiful, like, classic A-frame from the 1940s
and that's how.
designed
That's what this was.
It's gorgeous little setups. I love those.
Yeah,
like,
but her parents ended up selling it and then building a new one, like on another piece of property, which I thought was kind of weird because I loved the way that one was set up. I thought it was such a cool effect. But I do love. I really do like McCall. I really do like that. And I could imagine. I've never been around the lake the whole time, but I would be right there with you.
That's the first time I've ever done a
looking
full
at all
loop.
those cabins
and we're just
seeing all the
trolling
stuff.
along, maybe 10, 50 miles an hour at most.
Yeah.
Of course, you talk knots when you're on the water, but we're not that. We're not those people, I guess, who talk in nautical distance. Any rate, point is, enjoyed the loop around the lake. Really liked the feel of it.
All of us seagoing folk.
I'm reiterating.
Seaman.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say that.
The pretentiousness level is like way down here. So, yeah. Any rate, just want to say really enjoyed that because I'm notorious for not taking vacations. I stay late. Yeah, I show up late sometimes in the morning, but I tend to stay late and I don't turn my brain off.
Yeah,
like when
well,
I'm
your
working,
dad's the same way.
Just in it. So to go up there and do that was a big step. And it's like, oh, and they're like, you really need to take more vacations, Dane. And Liz is like, yeah, I'd actually like that. I'm like, okay, great. Yeah. So we'll make a better habit.
They're going to Mexico next month.
I think just some good driving trips like Yellowstone or the Oregon coast, some little things like that. I think I'm probably going to plan those into maybe later this summer or something. We'll see.
You got to remember, we're home for the rest of the summer. Like, we don't have to travel like we planned.
More so free this year than other years.
Yeah. So, well, and that's like, I'm trying to do that because I could easily fill my weekends with details. Mm-hmm. Very easily.
Yeah, it would be easy to do.
And I'm trying to like figure them out so that I can take some time off and actually take my kids camping.
Yeah.
And do some stuff because
it's tough to make that.
It's gonna go so fast.
Of like, okay, I deserve this. I need to just stop and relax for a little bit and just do something different.
Yeah, and your parents were, rightly so, starting the rag company, grinding hard. They did a lot, but since they bought that condo, they try and make it a point to at least go up once a month for 3 days.
Yeah.
And they've held pretty good to it. And on some of the days, they've actually gone up twice a month.
Yeah, they need it. They deserve it.
They've actually been using it.
I'm really
and
glad that they've been making more of a habit of it because it is going up there so relaxing. Because none of us are like big schedule people with doing that. It's just go at your own pace, do your own thing, whatever. So yeah, it's extremely relaxing. We're super low key. But one thing I wanted to say that was pretty fun was
apparently a razor can pull a boat.
Yeah, so I got some video of a guy with his big boxer dog sitting in the passenger seat with a harness, like
side by side,
all happy to go in a Polaris Razor, I guess. They were pulling a little baby sailboat. It was like barely longer than this table.
It was like a dinghy.
It was hilarious how small it was, and it still had a cabin you could stand in, which blew my mind. But yeah, no, it was hilarious watching this thing drive up and then drive around town with the sailboat attached to it. It's like,
awesome.
Oh wow, okay. But one thing that was really fun was when I think it was the second day. It was Saturday. We were there, and I was going to get out of my parents' car, go get something out of my car because they gave me a parking spot there just for the weekend. And there was this little boy looking at my car, and he was looking at it like he was curious about it. And the parents were like unloading stuff out of their car. I didn't know who these people were, but apparently my parents recognized them. I guess they're kind of like not the landlord
property
necessarily, but they're
kinda.
like property managers. Yeah. So this little boy was looking at the car, and he was just super curious. And I said, "Oh, well, I got to go get a hoodie out of the back anyway. It's starting to get a little chilly." So I go and open up the car, and you see the kid's eyes light up, and he starts wanting to know a little bit more. And he goes, "I have a model of this car. It's green, but it looks just like this." And I'm thinking, like, this kid's maybe
Dane
7 or 8.
Met himself in the future.
His son.
He kind of looked like a tiny, So it was funny. He was like
the
maybe.
iRoxy, he starts up in the background. There it is.
I have to imagine this kid couldn't have been older than like 7 or 8. Like he was
too
young,
old.
but he was old enough to like know some about cars and stuff, and he was really liked mine. So I was like, okay, that's pretty cool that you're interested in this, and the fact you have a model. I'm not gonna say it's weird, but it's like of all the cars you could have picked, this is the one.
Right,
Like, I love it, but usually it's like an older crowd likes my car. This is the way it works.
Like
but
chiropractors,
dentists, chiropractors, doctors. Yeah. So, hey, I'm not complaining. That's great. I think having an interest in cars when you're young is awesome. It's just usually it's like Lamborghinis or something. But in this case, he was really curious. So I pop it open, and I pop open the hood, and I'm like, there, you can look under there. He goes, oh, it says Jaguar on it. He was so excited to like see it matches my model. And he said, oh, my model's green. I'm like, actually, I'm getting this wrapped pretty soon, and I'm thinking of making it green. And he goes, oh, that's so cool. He was just really blown away. But this is the part that just made his whole year, I think, was I said, you know what? Here. I pulled out my keys. I handed them to him. I said, hold those. I go sit in the seat. And he's like, I get to sit in there? I'm like, yeah, go ahead and sit in there. So he sits in the seat. And, of course, like, he's tiny in this thing. The steering wheel's, like, over his head. It's, the old lady driving behind the thing. Yeah. He looks like that, but he's kind of looking around. He's just, like, feeling all the leathers and stuff. He's like, oh, my God, it's so cool. It's so cool. And then I said, okay. Now look under there, under the steering wheel. You see that big pedal? And he goes, oh, is that because he doesn't know gas or brake or anything. I'm just like, that big pedal, push your foot down on that. And he's just like, okay, but he has to like slide halfway under the seat to do it. It was just hilarious to see. And I'm like, okay, now with your other hand, reach over and touch the black button in the middle console there. See that one ahead of the silver thing? He's like, this one? I go, yeah. See, it's flashing at you because it flashes when you open the car. It's like, apparently replicates a heartbeat, which is kind of a fun thing. But any rate, I'm like, okay, press that, but hold the pedal down at the same time. He's like, okay. He pushes it. The car roars to life, and his eyes just like, about to explode out of his head. His mind is blown. He's just like, whoa, because the thing was, it was parked in a carport. It was under a carport.
So it echoed
and there was a wall directly behind it, so the sound just reverberated off everything, and it was the coolest sound. And he was just beaming. It was awesome to see, but he was so excited.
That's like, man, if I was a kid, I would also be so pumped on that.
No, and he was just like, do I have to keep holding him like after he's holding on? I'm like, no, you can stop now. It's okay.
It's
like, all right,
baby. Yeah,
well, it was tempting to say that, but I knew there were neighbors there, and there were people who wanted to, enjoy their stay. So I told him, I'm not going to let you rev it.
7-year-old revving up the Jag.
I hope you at least get a chance to enjoy it. He's just like, that is so cool. Oh my gosh, I got to. And then he's like, thank you so much. And he like shakes my hand, and then he runs over to his parents. He's like, he let me start that, and they're like, yes, we heard it. But it was super exciting. So I was just really, really happy, and I haven't had that experience yet with somebody just like he didn't care about anything else at that point. He was just so excited. He wanted to tell his parents all about it. It's like, okay, great. My parents are looking over just like, because they apparently it gets them brownie points because the people who maintain the stuff, they're like, oh yeah, you make their kid happy, then life is good here. So I was just really happy to have that. It's just awesome. Nice, so it feels good. But thought I'd share that.
Yeah, but other than that though, business this week. Let's kind of cover this really quick.
Yes,
combo pack. We launched it on Monday.
Yes, so the combo of Uno Protect and Bead Maker is live on the website.
Plus a pad.
Plus a pad. It's a combo listing, so you'll be able to score all those for a cheaper price than buying them individually. So it's like a discounted bundle price.
It's a 250 ml of Uno, a pint of Bead Maker, and your choice of pad. But this is to get you started. Maybe you want to try it. You don't have to buy the 32 ounce and a gallon of Bead Maker or any of that. Get this smaller kit. Try it, utilize it.
Yeah, absolutely.
See if you like it.
Yeah. So, guys, we've got a lot of comments about it. People saying like, hey, is this better than a correction? Can I use this polish? Can I use Uno instead of a polish? There's a lot of questions, and it's best to watch the video and pay attention closely to what we see at the beginning of the video. I think a lot of people literally just skipped right over it, even though we said, hey, watch this. Didn't watch it.
5 seconds in, you're like, literally, don't skip this part.
Go back and watch it, and you're going to have a lot of your questions answered because, this doesn't replace a correction. The whole process is not for that. It's a money-making combo for a one-step, can you buff my car job, right?
Yeah.
And so that's what it is. Don't think about it any more than that. It's just a great all-in-one, but the combo of Bead Maker makes it a killer all-in-one, and I think a lot of people really like it. Now, rest of this week is going to get pretty crazy.
It's going to get nuts.
We do have a sale launching for 4th of July. The plan is tentatively Wednesday is when this would launch. So keep that in mind. We do have a big surprise under our sleeve. I was hoping to have an example here with me, but that didn't work out. So unfortunately, I'm sorry. But basically,
stay tuned on Facebook and Instagram.
Stay tuned on Facebook and Instagram. I'll give you one hint. Can I give them one hint? It's just one word.
Okay.
Blue.
Okay.
Like it.
Wow.
That's it. It's just blue.
Yeah.
So something is blue. It's been talked about before, but it's blue. So
possibly as a joke before, but now
possibly
it's
as a joke before, but now it's real, and it's amazing. So that's a big surprise. So just stay tuned for that.
Yep.
But the sale's going to be launching. We do have some kits coming together for the sale specifically. So for 4th of July, we put together some really cool kits with some really funny names.
Yeah, very different kits that we, you guys probably saw some from Father's Day, but these are different kits that we created.
Yeah.
Utilizing some different products. So.
Yeah. And so we are having, most of the sale details will be posted when we send out the email blast. So if you're not subscribed to our newsletter, please subscribe to our newsletter. But everything else will be followed up on Instagram and Facebook. But this is going to be hopefully an awesome and amazing sale.
And remember, last year, 4th of July, the main things still apply. Yeah. You're going to get every order gets the American flag sticker, Rag Company sticker. That goes in every order.
Yep.
And we do this only on flag holiday sales. Is the red, white, and blue TRC Cyclone.
Yep.
So if you missed it last year, now's your chance again to get one.
Yeah.
And that way you can grab one and have it, add it to the arsenal, so to speak. And but it's gonna be cool, especially with the launch of this new fun, unique item.
It's probably going to be one of those things that starts out as like, oh, it's a novelty, it's fun, and then people are just going to become addicted to it. It's the way these things always seem to go.
Trust me.
Yeah.
It's gonna
so
be,
one thing I did want to point out as far as like the combo, when you're talking about like say Uno and Bead Maker and stuff like that, we can do some FAQ videos that maybe address the specifics of that more for the people who didn't bother watching the intro part to that video, because I think it is important information. And I like Luke Berge even said Luke is generally really on top of this stuff, but even he said, oh, I didn't know I was supposed to let Uno sit.
Right, a lot of people
and
didn't.
I think that's just a thing that comes across to a lot of people. But another comment I saw frequently was like, oh, can I use a different all-in-one? Or like all these kinds of things. Like, well, actually, Uno is kind of unique in the way it actually behaves and works. Like you were saying, even though, yes, all-in-ones tend to have fillers and stuff, you can wipe it with a wipe and really not see too much taken away.
The fillers in Uno are the wax. That's what it is, right?
Yeah.
And so basically... And you got a little bit of silicone in there, but that's just to help with the wipe. That's help with the runs, the keeping the heat down. There's a lot of reasons why this product works. But typically the correction that you get out of the product is the correction that you're left with, right? Regardless of the fillers.
It's not a
right?
heavy filler.
It's not a heavy filler.
Point being, to the layman, the reason you would be interested in this over other all-in-ones is because it has that look and feel of something that's not necessarily an all-in-one. When you're done with it, you're done with it.
Yeah, it looks
and,
really,
and I
really
think
good.
that's what a lot of people were missing. They're like, oh, why would I bother with this over any other one?
And
that's
here's the deal.
kind of what you're trying to
We
tell
experimented, and we found that there is synergy between Beadmaker and Uno, right? And Uno Protect. We found the synergy between those two. Now, if you're coming at us and saying, "Will this work with any all-in-one?"
Well, a lot of people were saying GPS and OptiSeal. Yeah, that combination does work.
Or like HD speed or something.
So, but GPS and OptiSeal were great and they worked, but this is something completely different.
Yeah,
this is a totally different version of an all-in-one.
And you have to remember, guys, we're taking two different brands, and we found synergy, and we found chemistry that does work between these two brands. According
they
to
were
the
not
man,
formulated
Jason Rose himself,
in conjunction with
and,
each other at all.
And it's a killer combo. We don't have super long-term testing at this point, but we have done this now. This is all we've been doing.
Yeah,
now,
that's all I've been doing since January.
And we freaking love it. And so basically, you know, there's people that will take a little bit of information and they'll attach onto it, and then they start asking all these other questions that I'm like, hey man, I don't know.
Or they'll get mad at something that's not even the case because they just make a bunch of assumptions.
That's like
beyond
that's
the
like
information
me saying
that was
like
there,
I'm buying a house, and then somebody says, "So can you help me refinance, or does my refinancing?" I'm like, that's not even the same. Like they're correlated, but I can't. This is totally different. You have to figure that out for yourself if that's what you want.
Yeah, exactly.
So basically, product testing.
Yeah,
go out there,
testing.
try stuff together. You never know what might actually be.
And just we went at it going when we learned about the chemistry of Uno. That's what led us ipso facto to Beadmaker.
Yeah, you're like, oh, sealant, polymer sealant. Okay.
I wonder if the same. Listening to the way it worked in the technical, aspect in the webinar provided by Rupes about the product, learning about it, going, oh, then. These are basically the same type.
Yeah, some light bulbs are going off.
It's basic chemistry. And I'm not saying not to do research. Do research. Figure that stuff out. Learn it. Ask the questions. Point is, we did our best research we possibly could. We asked the people that were important about it, and we have created this setup.
There are plenty of instances of something looking good on paper, and then you actually try it and it sucks.
Right.
So that's always a possibility that, you go and you mix other products and try and do the same thing. It's not going to be the same story necessarily.
All right, so let's wrap this up.
We'll wrap it up here. Oh, wow. Anthony wasted no time. He's just walking away. Okay, guys, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the Rag Company YouTube channel, the Rag Company Podcast YouTube channel, and the Rag Company FAQ channel.
Oh, what's this?
Oh, wow. Wait a second.
Finish it out.
You know what?
Finish it out.
No, finish it out, Dane. Close it out. We're going home.
Okay, I guess we're all done. But yes, the biggest thing I can ask you, go subscribe to the Rag Company FAQ channel. You want answers, that's where you're going to find them. You got questions, submit them to us, and we will hopefully make a video out of it with a short answer for you.
Yep.
For everybody else to enjoy. So, with that said, guys, adios.
See ya.